same old problem. We don't seem to see much. And here we are talking about a politician. Now we're talking about an NDC constituency chairman who is angry because he wasn't informed. I don't know if you found out. Why was he expecting the team to inform you? I mean, what was his reason?
Well, he thinks that if anything should happen within his constituency, he should be in the know.
Really?
Especially when we are seizing equipment and destroying items used in the illegal mining trade. He thinks that they have, in his own words, do we know how the party came to power?
He was asking you whether you knew how the party
came to power, and he feels that he should have been consulted.
Consulted so he does what? I mean, that's before consulted so he does what specifically?
Exactly my point, Winston. Consult you so you inform your members who are mining illegally by the offing, by the roadside, to clear. That I don't know what he wanted, because if there's a security operation going on and they are notifying everybody on the ground, then why is it a security operation in the first place? And what they are doing by the Offin River is not only criminal; it's total madness.
Tell me more about it.
If you look at the thickness of the Offin at the moment, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like mixing mud in a cup, and it's so turbid that I will be shocked if there is any living organism in that river. And they have lined up a number of champagne machines on it like that, about 12 of them. And there's an excavator sitting on one side and excavating the shores of the river to the extent that you could visibly see the building which is sited close to the river almost toppling over. And that's what they are doing. And that is what he is angry. He is not happy that a team has immobilized that operation, but he is angry that he wasn't consulted because the people whose equipment have been destroyed are angry and they are calling him. And it did not end there. His boys, the ones who were with him, he had gathered quite a number of people who were with him, some of them party executives and all that. They blocked the road when we're getting close to Dunkwa. You know, Dunkwa and Badwa almost share boundaries.
Yeah.
So it's just a few driving minutes from Badwa where they were mining by the Offin. But when you get to Dunkwa proper, the entire town, within the town, close to the bridge, there's huge excavation within the town itself, with building also on the verge of collapse. The bridge, which covers the Offin to that end at Dunkwa, is almost touched. I would say that it's just some inches, then the excavators will be able to reach the culverts.
Hey.
And it's been done so glaringly, because there is a police post, a police barrier, just after the bridge. And it's just like everyday, normal day life. They are there doing their job, and the illegal miners are also within the town, excavating the town itself. And so that is what they did not want the team
go ahead.
to witness.
So what did the team do?
In fact, I must say that the soldiers were on edge, but the commanders told them not to react, because the one of them blocked the convoy with his vehicle. And so for minutes, we were standing there and they were arguing, and more people were coming on board and arguing and saying that they will not allow. And literally meaning we will die with them. If we have to die with them, we will die with them. So the commander really told them to calm down. And you could see that some of them who were so angry with what was happening were shaking like that, but they did not do anything. They did not react. And after some time, the constituency chairman, who was initially angry, then walked over to the gentleman and told him to move his vehicle. And he did. So we continued to the illegal pit itself within the town. And when we were filming it and the commanders were taking notes, we saw a mob, close to about 50 people, heavily built men, now marching towards the bridge where the committee, the team's vehicles were parked. And that was when the commander said he doesn't want any confrontation. He doesn't want any casualties. So we should pack our things, stop whatever we're doing, and go. And we left.
But is that not surprising, Erastus, that, yes, nobody expects anybody to be, persons who are not engaged in illegality to be, shot at or anything. But the question is, these people have the guts to block the road. These are persons engaged in illegality. So why did the commander ask that you leave, which means a continuation of the illegality?
Well, Winston, not to do PR for anybody, but I think per the reference terms given the team, this was a fact-finding team.
Fact-finding team?
Yes. In fact, they are supposed to provide data of illegal mining sites. And they had a list of licenses, small-scale licenses that have been issued, both in the previous administration and then getting to the latter part of Akufo-Addo's administration, a number of them. And so we were building data on how many of these licenses are conforming, what is happening on the ground, and then which areas are mostly affected, and advise the minister on an enforcement drive. I know that there's an enforcement team that is supposed to start work very soon. And so that information was supposed to inform them on how to act and where to go and how to deal with the situation.
Please hold on, because we've been joined by Ken Ashibe, who is part of the coalition against Galamsey illegal mining. Ken, I mean, listening to Erastus, he says the team is on a fact-finding mission, and they would advise the minister on an enforcement, on what to do. They're gathering data. He says there'll be an enforcement team subsequently. Really, Ken Ashibe, is that the approach that we need in fighting illegal mining? Don't we know where people are mining illegally? What's this whole advisory committee about? If you can kindly unmute your microphone so we can hear you.
Can you hear?
We can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so isn't it interesting that we have people actually mining? We have local authorities in these localities. We have police in there. We have the intelligence officers in there. These are visible things. And if you look at Erastus's report, there were some of them that were by the side of the road. What are you waiting for? What other fact finding do you want to do? The NDC have been involved with us in this particular fight, since during the time of the MPP. So I am surprised that somebody thinks that they need to go and find facts about the destruction of our forest. You have situations where forestry guards are being beaten. People. So when it comes to the issues of enforcement, I'm not too sure what the fact finding it should all be about. It should be about dealing with the challenge that we have. And the elephant in the room is the politically exposed people who are in there. So you see the fact that an NDC constituency chairman, what is his locus when it comes to law enforcement in this country? Why should he be saying? This man, by this time, I am hoping that has been called and we are going through the process of ensuring that, some investigations are going to be done. It is the same way that the Awen MP has been accused by the Awen Traditional Council. He counter-accuses them. By this time, there should be some investigation going on. It is the same to do with, I think there was an Evaledra or so, there's an NDC constituency chairman again involved in this. We heard the president tell us before he came into power that if you were part of his government, he was not going to allow you, to the extent that he even said on the 7th of July that he was going to he was going to grant amnesty to people because he wants the kingpins. This is a very good opportunity for His Excellency the President to hold this particular constituency chairman and all politically exposed people. But for me, I think we should stop wasting our time with this fact finding and get some actions to go on. We saw the minister himself going to the orphan shelter and deal with it. I can tell you, Winston, for a fact that the Forestry Commission knows all the forestry areas that have been destroyed. The Water Commission, the Resource Commission, they know that. So it is not about, this is basically a much ado about nothing. You are dying, you are being killed. And you say you're doing what, fact finding?
You think it's more about smoke screen, buying time while the people continue with their illegality?
Well, I think, Winston, I think it is the same thing that we suffered under the last government. And I'm pretty sure that the president knows that. The major challenge is the fact that the firefighters themselves have become the arsonists. They themselves, people close to power, people close to himself, in both parties. We're told by one of the MPP people that when the minister was in parliament making a point that people will be coming from both sides. I don't know what other evidence we need. There are things that we need to do about sustainable mining. There are things that we need to do about how we harness the local authorities and get them involved. There are things that we have to do about how we ensure that we restore our lands. Those you can do some engagement. But the issues about the enforcement of the laws, we have so many laws in this country. We have so many rules in this country that needs to be enforced. And so it's not for nothing that, the Media Coalition and the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey talk about the issues of the imposition of a state of emergency in those forest reserves, that over 40-something forest reserves that, are being, people have gone in there, they are destroying our water bodies that are being destroyed. Do that so that then these people who are now mining close to the roads, such that the Gov't will be lost and lives will be lost. You prevent that from happening. Otherwise, when you sit down and you allow this to happen, then you as a government, you also become culpable. So I think that immediately we need to take steps to ensure that we are dealing with the issues of the illegality. And then once we've dealt with that, then we can look at the other issues that have to be dealt with.
All right, Ken Ashibe, we definitely will deal with all these issues. Thank you so much for making time to speak to us this morning.